So welcome to the show, everyone. It's a little hot out there. It's a little hot in here right now. We're having a little air conditioning problems, but we're networking with everyone here. We're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us, and we're going to share the show afterwards. Everyone loves when I do that, and you can check out all the information that's been on the shows and all sorts of shows. Right now, I have with me Howard Farkash, and he's the principal, one of the principals of Bravo Insurance. Welcome to the show. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourselves, what makes you different, and the disclaimer that you got to get out first off.
Absolutely, yes. I am Howard Farkash. I've been here in the Valley for approximately 20 years, selling life insurance, health insurance, disability income, long-term care, and retirement plans that are based around life insurance, basically. The items that we'll be talking about during Networking Arizona are for educational purposes only and should not be taken as advice per se. We would only give advice on recommendations once we knew a listener's specific goals and financial situation. So as I mentioned to you, I've been selling life insurance here in the Valley, health insurance, disability income, for approximately 20 years, and my associate Javi, who is among the missing right now.
He's missing. He's MIA.
Right.
Missing in action.
But nonetheless, Javier has actually been doing this for 35 years just as well. We'd like to say, for the most part, that we make things go better when things go bad, essentially. The difference between a problem and a disaster is preparation, and insurance is preparation.
You know, before you came on, and I'm going to go away from this a little bit, okay? Because you had told me something before you came on of kind of where you stand and what you do on your side of selling insurance. Can you please expand on that for me?
Sure. Well, the biggest part of selling insurance is finding out what your client is looking for, what his need happens to be, maybe to instruct him as to whether or not his need is as big as he thinks it is, or maybe even possibly bigger. Once we truly establish the need, then we actually go shopping in the marketplace for products that will meet those particular needs. So we ask an awful lot of questions. And that's
You do. You want to know why I know you do? Because I'm interested in what some of the things we're going to talk about today. And you sent me a list of questions, and even when I answered them, we went over them again. And there were certain things that still come out from there because everybody has a story, and it starts with that.
We want to get things right. Without complete information, we cannot necessarily get you the right product. Hit the bullseye. Not just beyond the target, but actually hit the bullseye, hit the center of the target.
Now, I'm going to ask you, when you work with people, you work valley-wide?
Oh, yes. Well, theoretically, we work statewide, basically.
So basically statewide. Both of you have been 35 years in this business. You have a phone number that operators are standing by, and that number is 480-316-7862. You can call there. They do consultations. You work with people and do free consultations with them.
Absolutely. The thing we like to do best is work with our GPS system, basically. We call it a GPS system. Other people have different names for it. But it is the fact finder to find out where you're going, where you want to be when it's time for you to retire. Because retirement planning is a big part of the service that we offer, basically. We do that through our financial coaching activity. So the idea of a GPS is, where are you now? How much money have you saved already? How are you saving? How much are you saving on an ongoing basis? Where do you want to be? And are you going to make that goal or not? Now, if not, we have a couple things to do. We can redestine you. In other words, your goal may not be met, but it might be less from a financial perspective, but we can put you on target to hit that goal if it's possible based upon your resources, your income, and things of that nature. So that whole GPS process is the heart of our business. Now, I must tell you that when it comes to selling life insurance, there's two types of sales that are involved. One is referred to as a transactional sale. That's where somebody calls up and says, hey, I need $100,000 worth of 10-year life insurance, 10-year being the guarantee period. It's a very simple sale. They determine the need, and we merely fill that need. Javier tends to call that just order taking, basically. But then there's the planning sale, the transactional, the non-transactional, but the relationship selling. And we have most of our business falling into that relationship. We continually guide people year after year after year. We do that through annual reviews. We stay with you. We're not hit and run artists, okay? We move. When you move, we move, okay? And the important thing about that is things in your life change. So therefore, your insurance requirements change just as well. Birth of a child, loss of a job, gaining of a job, getting a big promotion at your job, divorce. These all impact. In the divorce case, you don't want to leave your money that you're
No,
leaving
you
an
don't. I
insurance
know you
policy to a first wife when you should be leaving it to a second wife.
Right.
So we review all aspects of that policy to make sure that things are just right for you.
And so if it's okay with you, I'd like to open it up to the lines to the audience for people to get that GPS system that we have that you offer for everybody. It's a sit down, go over with everything that you possibly need. And it starts with the story, and obviously that's what you're going to do is kind of tell them where you're at, what you're looking for, what are your goals at the end of your lives, right? And what you want to, maybe for peace of mind.
And we also talk about the protection aspect of our business. That's what our business is. It's protecting people's lifestyles, basically. And give you an example of a prominent attorney came to us, and we did set her up with insurance. But in the process of doing that, she told us what her story was. Her father was a very successful CPA in New York. They were living a pretty nice lifestyle, basically. And when she was 12 years old, her father passed away. Quite unexpected, obviously. No illness, just passed away, sudden heart attack. Well, he had no life insurance because he was sure he was bulletproof, and he didn't buy any life insurance. Well, Mom had never worked outside the home. She was a 12-year-old girl. His sister was about 8 years old. That family's life was totally disrupted. Their lifestyle was totally disrupted. So what happened in her particular case, they had to sell the house, move to a small apartment in a different neighborhood, not quite as nice. She had to work her way through college. I think it took her about 6 or 7 years because she was working sometime and going to school sometime. And then she decided she wanted to be a lawyer. And she had to work her way through law school. Well, she was sure that was not going to happen to her kids. She bought insurance from us.
Well, I sit and I listen to you a lot, and when I do, every time you're on here, and that's why I said to you, I'm interested in hearing it. I know a lot of people, when you're older, we do start thinking about these things. I said it, I'm just turning 62, and all of a sudden your mind starts thinking of these things. But honestly, it should not just be when you're older. You really should start younger, especially if you've got children.
Well, that's the exact thing. The reality is we only buy life insurance if we love somebody very much or we owe somebody very much, okay? Those are the reasons we buy life insurance. We want to avoid those consequences, the horrible consequences that happened to this young lady who is now finding her way to success. So she didn't, like I say, she didn't want to set her kids up the very same way.
Absolutely, I agree with it 100%. They've got 35 years of experience with this. They're not hit and run artists. They are here to stay with you and work with you through the way. We're going to, leave our lines open here for everyone to call in. Get this GPS. We're calling a GPS system from them. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You can also see them on their Facebook page, which it is Bravo Insurance Agency LLC. My thing is that for everybody that's listening right now, we've had a lot of change. This year has been a year of change. And right now, listening to this, maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know. Let's tell them about this because it's important information. Real quick. Did you want to say something?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we're gonna what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk further. But I implore people to listen to what you're hearing and what they offer because it could be wonderful for you and work for you in so many different ways. I know when I was talking to Javi, he heard a little bit more about my story. He got a little deeper into my past. And he came up with something else that might work wonderfully for me. God forbid something happens in my life. And I'm really excited about doing that with you guys. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. Get the GPS system from us and check them out. It's Bravo Insurance Agency, LLC. Check them out on Facebook. We're going to continue going live. And Javi is here. So he's walking in the door. And you get to sit here this time because you get the hot spot now. He gets over to sit.
My GPS failed me now.
So move over just a little bit. You can sit here. You can move yourself over here.
Say hi. That's
Hi, you can say hi to me. That's better. And I don't know what you're going to do afterwards with Monique is here as well.
Monique, yeah.
So
Monique, yeah. No, we're doing stuff for you today.
But here, I'm going to put you over here. and I'm going to make sure you guys, we're live as we're doing this on Facebook right now.
Okay.
And so I can get you when you're sitting down. We've got, I guess they're having air conditioning issues, so that's why it's a little warm. Are you
I'm not
hot?
worried.
We
That's
had
not
the
a
fan
worry.
on yesterday.
That's not a worry. Everything is fine.
I turned it off because I didn't want any sound, and our sound is picking up more because
Right.
does she do video with you and all that kind of
No.
stuff too? So it's a little different. So
Right.
that's why I turned it off. But if you're hot, let me know. Okay, and your earphones and all that kind of stuff. But we're fine here on this end. I also have some new videos that I just edited for you.
Nice.
I'm doing them myself, so it's taking a little bit longer because I had to learn it, but now I got it down, so I'm really excited about that.
David's
But you'll
not-
be getting more.
Carol, pick up on the theme of there must be a bazillion insurance agencies out there.
Okay,
And
is that
what
where we're
makes
gonna
us
go?
different. Let's
Okay.
pick that up.
You
okay?
got it.
You got your spot
You got
too?
it.
Yep, got it.
Okay. So you're really directing that, you're welcoming him.
Well,
you welcome
I
him
think we
in.
did it fine
Yeah,
considering.
you welcome him in and say, there must be a gazillion of you guys out there.
Okay.
How are you guys different? And he'll intro and then I'll come in, okay?
Oh, these are commercials?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, little things that
We'll
we're talking
talk
about TV commercials that we're talking about. No, I'll tell you.
on the radio?
Yeah, why people watch these commercials.
Oh,
We're not gonna
okay.
bring it up. I'm just.
I think let's stay with the pink, okay?
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
Stay with the pink.
Yeah, stay with the
This
pink.
is my copy then?
Well, here, yes, go ahead.
I got the white
Actually,
one.
well, that's the same copy,
Okay.
everything is the same. We'll stay with the pink, and next time we'll get involved. I know what you're talking about, because we sessioned on this, but we didn't
Oh,
agree,
I think I
to it,
okay.
right?
Okay.
We sessioned on it.
Okay.
And we want to get into those differences.
Okay, gotcha. I
so-
gotcha. I'm on top of it. I got you. I'm hearing every word you're saying.
You're marvelous.
Get that mic right up there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Eat
you
it.
especially.
Eat
Get
the
on
mic.
top of it.
Eat the mic.
Make sure your phone is on off or silent, that's all.
Silent or off, one or the other, okay. And this was fun to just ramble off script, it was fun.
It's fun
I
to
know
do
that,
that,
I
see?
know that, yes.
So a little bit of both,
Yeah,
see?
right, exactly.
A little bit of both. So welcome back, everyone. And now we have Javi. Javi came in and he was a little late, but that's okay. Better late than never. And Javi, we've been talking a little bit about the stories that you guys have helped people with and the reasons why maybe to get into getting some of your products that you offer. Javi, I want you to tell, there's a million, probably a gazillion of insurance companies out there, but tell everybody a little bit about what makes you all different.
Oh, wow, we're so different.
You know why you're different? Because you're Javi and Howie.
That's right.
And I'm going
That's
to
right.
tell you, you guys are here every Thursday. I want to mention
First
that
of the
too. First Thursday of every month that you're going to be on my show and talking about this because it's a regular, and one day you might even have your own show. But they love coming on my show and doing the Javi and
Right, 'cause you're the
Howie
best.
thing.
That's
well,
why.
thank you. But go ahead and tell them what honestly makes you different.
Okay, honestly, there are so many insurance agencies out there that anybody can go to, and you can actually buy insurance online now, or on the computer, or by phone, whatever. But we stand out because we do personalized service. We care for our people. We ask them questions up front, so that way what we recommend is totally, purely personalized to solve your needs at the best price point possible. Because there's no sense in buying something that later on not be able to afford it. Okay, that's one thing. You got the best insurance is the insurance that's enforced when you need it the most. Okay, now Howard and myself, Howie and myself, have lots of years of experience, right? But we also have access to over 70 carriers. That gives us a wide variety of products that one agent usually doesn't have access to. For example, a captive company agent is one that sells only one carrier. They can't go outside that market. We have access to 70 carriers, and all those carriers have multiple products. International products, we have Lloyd's of London, for example. We have carriers in Canada. We have carriers in Japan. Okay, things like that makes us stand out.
Right.
Now, on top of that, I'm a case designer and underwriter by default. So, not only can I submit your case or your situation to a carrier, I can actually talk to them to make a decision faster and more easily than other people can, or they go through middlemen.
I have to say, and I was talking to, I don't know if you heard it, but I was talking to Howie a little bit earlier about how I've been working with you a little bit too. Because
Yes.
when you first came on, and I know we're probably going to talk a little bit about the product too, but when I heard about living benefits, you know, with the life insurance, I thought, wow, this one could be perfect for me because I just happen to fit the criteria. I know a lot of people do, and I was so excited about finding more information out, right? And when I started to work with you, I think the first thing I got was, you know, a questionnaire, right? Like 5-page, I don't know what it was. But what I loved about it is not only did you just take that and say, okay, thanks a lot, go back and give me some numbers or whatever. Right now, we're still at the beginning stages of all this.
Right.
And I'm talking this story because I think it's a great part of it that people want to hear that my experience is with you so far. And what it is that, first of all, you're all about getting to know somebody and becoming their friend.
Right.
Number one, it's
Right.
first all about getting to know the person and getting into their relationship with them as right off the top.
Absolutely.
And everything that I sent in, not only did you now go over it with me, we went into it a little bit further because there were some things that I wasn't sure how I wanted to answer or whatever, but you went into it in depth. And you asked me more questions from those, and I'm sure that when we meet again, it's going to be like that. So I've experienced the way that you service people and how close that you want to work with them and get to know them.
Our clients are our friends, okay, and their families become our friends as well. We have to make sure that we do the right thing at the right time for everybody, okay. And a satisfied customer will give us referrals as well, and that's very important. In our business, referrals are very important, and I believe 85% of our business comes from referrals.
Mm-hmm. And that is a kudos to you because they were happy with what they got. I want to talk a little bit about, so we're going to go into some other things here, and I don't know whether or not there's another story here at this point with you guys, but I wanted to talk a little bit about how you were talking a little bit about insurance to avoid financial impact. You mentioned that, and it's very important because especially right now, a lot of people out there are a little bit nervous about where they're going to do. This is of all the times a very good time to be looking into this because look at our lives are crazy right now. And you were talking earlier how the story that you had mentioned was about somebody who passed away suddenly, which can happen. We all know that. We don't want to believe it, but it can happen to anybody. But look in the times that we are now. I mean, everybody's thinking about protecting ourselves in some way or another, right?
That's right. And you know, not just passing away. If someone has a stroke or a heart attack, that's totally unexpected. No matter how prepared you are, or if you have pre-existing conditions, you don't know when the time is going to happen.
And that's where the living benefits come in, basically.
The living benefits come in. They,
Right.
they give you an insurge of cash up front to help you normalize your lifestyle while you're going through this. They'll replace income for a little bit. They'll pay your bills so that everybody can relax and recover faster and easier.
Right, and there's a lot of other ways to use that too. You mentioned some things to me that just kind of perked in my mind. We're like, wow, that sounds great. And again, we talked about this earlier today too, how everybody has a story, right? It's their story, and that's what they have to find out. You have to find out is where are you at? What is your story? What are your needs? And even with me, you found out much more about me, and then you were like, throughout, wow, you could use this for that or whatever.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what's neat about it.
And we throw out things that people don't think about, and
That's
it
right.
opens up their eyes.
You said it for me.
Exactly.
Now, do you have another story that you want to go into before I keep on talking away here?
Well, tell me the story.
Well, we told the story about the lady who from New York who was the attorney who had to actually her father passed away unexpectedly, and her mom had to sell the house, move her and her sister to another neighborhood, a small apartment, and then this lady had to actually pay her way through college, and law school took her a long time to get through and finally get her degree. She was not going to put her kids in the very same bind, especially when she was the breadwinner in her new family, basically.
Their phone number, it's 480-316-7862. You can call in here and get the GPS system from me, which is basically just everything from soup to nuts to know about you, where you're going and what you want to do. And that's what it does start with. You got to know, you got to have your GPS system on to know where you're going.
Absolutely.
Right? And so you can call in here and get that from me. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. They do free consultations. Again, that number is 480-316-7862. So in all of this that we were talking about, I've gotten this one here. It kind of makes you like COVID-19 insurance.
Well, you wish you did have COVID-19 insurance, because a lot of people who are now suffering financially because they're out of work and don't have an account to turn to. Gee, if they had a cash value life insurance policy, they could take withdrawals from that. They could take loans from that, basically, in order to tide themselves over until they get back on their jobs. So we don't call it COVID-19 insurance per se, but for those people with cash value life insurance policy, the cash is there, it's theirs to take and use as they wish.
Tell everybody a little bit about that and how it works, because not all insurance carriers, they don't have this. They don't even, they don't work with a product like this.
Okay, so our whole life products are index universal life products have cash values. So you're paying a premium. Part of the money goes in the savings account. It earns market-related returns, but fully protected from any losses. So what it builds. So let's say you go down the road 5-6 years and you have an emergency. You can tap into that on your demand.
You don't have to be dead to get it.
That's right.
I said it for you.
You don't have to be dead to get it, and it's on your command to the insurance company. Hey, send me the money, the overnight or the wire.
No paperwork.
No paperwork.
All you folks getting SBA loans, you know what I mean by that, okay?
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And
So-
here's a lot of people out there who, and you know what, now you just gave me an idea about this too, because you know I'm all about networking, right? And I'm going to say it to everybody out there, if it's you or someone that you know, tell them about this. But I just thought about somebody that I know who might be interested too, because they're all getting these loans. I mean, everybody's excited, oh yay, I get to get this loan, but they got to pay back that loan, right?
Not only do you have to pay it back, you have to pay it back within a specific time frame, and you have to use it in a specific manner.
So what are the catches? Are there any catches with this whatsoever? Because sometimes people say, it sounds too good to be true.
For our cash value, there are no catches because the money is yours. It's money that you put away. Now, if you want to earn interest on the money you take out, then you take it out as a loan because you're going to pay yourself a loan rate to yourself.
And at that point, the rates are pretty low, or how does that work?
The interest rates for a policy loan are about 4%.
So it's pretty low no matter what.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's the thing, guys. It's all about taking care of yourselves, and that's what we've been talking about. But not only just yourself, but for your family as well.
Those you love or those you owe. That's what insurance is all about.
Those you owe, no,
Or
those you love, or those you owe.
Right.
And I know somebody who owes me. So we're going to talk about that after the show.
Okay, very good.
Again, you can call them direct. They would love for you to call them. They'll do a free consultation with you. They have 35 years of experience. Their phone number is 480-316-7862. What are your final words today?
We deliver checks, not casseroles.
That's right. You didn't bring your casserole
I
today.
never my cash, but listen, our appointments can be, or our consultation can be video, by phone, or in person.
So there you go. And they're working around everybody right now.
One closing thing, don't forget, our next show, July 2nd, we're going to have Tracy Preston on board, our real estate queen.
The number to call is 480-316